Good morning, Stampers. I'm so glad you decided to join me today. I think you are really going to like the card I have for you. It's made with this really neat Tasty Trucks Photopolymer stamp set. Now this stamp set is a free item when you purchase $50. For every $50 you spend at the Stampin' Up! Store, you qualify for a free gift, and this is one of the free gifts, and we call it Sale-a-bration. So, and it goes on until March 31st, and this one is in the 2017 catalog. Excellent. So, let's go ahead and get started now. Oh, and I just want to point some things out on the truck. So, I love this saying, let's talk about how awesome you are, and there's a little taco, sausage links, but then you can, hot dog, then, you could do the sweets too, the cupcake and the ice cream and the pancakes. You're the sweetest. Happy birthday. Now where's the cake? Congratulations. So a really neat stamp set. And this is the card we're making. And we're using the new watercolor pencils. They just got them back in stock. I'm so excited. I love them. They're so easy to use. So we're going to use the watercolor set and create this cute little card here. All right, and in the inside it says, "You're the sweetest." To make this card, you're going to need, first of all, a little white piece of paper to stamp our truck on. And it's 3 inches by 2 1/4 inch. Then we will need a mat to put the truck on, and it is 3 1/4 by 2 1/2 inches. For our side strip, the white strip is 1 1/4 by 5 1/4, and then the mat for it, oh, and also this is Calypso Coral paper that I'm using. I love this color. 1 1/2 by 5 1/4 inch. So that's the little strip. Now the card itself is on the white top is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then we put it all together on our card base, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and then we score it on the 4 1/4. So this is our card base. All right, let's get started here. Put all these to the side. First, I want my white card for stamping my truck. Now, the truck, because we're going to use watercolors and we're going to use a blender pen to blend the watercolors, we need a very permanent ink. Now, Stazon is another ink that's very good, and that's what I'm using here. And it's a permanent ink, and it does not bleed when it gets wet. Make sure you get it good and stamped up. And we just center it. Oh, that's the other thing I love about photopolymer stamps. You can see right through. Make sure you've got it right where you want it. My favorite part. And then just make sure it's good and stuck, because if you don't get, you can always redo it on the back, but if you mess it up, you can't really re-stamp it, or you'll, perfect, excellent, okay. And I want to clean that off. And also my stamp cleaner, I love this, Stampin' Up! Makes it, and you have the little water droplet picture there, so you know this is the wet side, this is the dry side, and you use the Stampin' Mist stamp cleaner, and you just spray it on there, and then take your stamp, clean it, and then dry it. Love this. And it's over to the side out of my way, so when I'm cleaning the stamps, I'm not going to bring it out each time, but you know. All right, so that's our truck. I want to put a couple of things on my truck. I want some cupcakes, and I want a saying on there. So now I have a trick for putting this stamp. The happy birthday stamp that comes with the set also has the words, I don't know if you can see it or not, but "Where's the cake?" And I really don't want that part of the stamp on my truck. So I have this little piece of paper here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask off the part of the truck I don't want to stamp. Okay, and then I'm going to ink up my saying. All right, and then very carefully, I am going to line that up. Now, my head's going to get in the way of the camera so I can see, but I'm going to put that right there. And then, see, it just says happy birthday where now where's the cake is on the scrap paper. So, and wash that off. All right, I want some cupcakes on here. Oops. All right, my little cupcake. Get some ink on there and line it right up, put it in the center there. Nice little cupcake. And another little cupcake. And my third little cupcake. And then one more thing, I want the cute little banner up there. The little bunting, as they call it. So there's my little bunting. And I'm just going to tie that right onto the awning on the truck. And there we go. All right, so happy birthday. Love it. Now let's decorate this thing. I am going to use like I said, the watercolors. All our watercolors, the colors coordinate with everything in Stampin' Up. So I'm using Pacific Point Blue and Daffodil Delight Yellow, and Early Espresso for my chocolate cupcakes. Love chocolate. Calypso Coral, which is what my card base is. Some rich raspberry, and finally some basic gray. When you use these watercolor pencils, and anytime you use any watercolor pencils, instead of just going right at it and start coloring like that, just with a very light hand start. And you can always get darker, but remember, once you can't go lighter. So go very, very lightly. And I kind of go in a circular motion. So you really can't see my pencil, you know, my the marks, the back and forth. It looks a little more uniform. And you just little tiny circular motions. And just with a steady hand, a very light touch. And of course, I know you don't want to watch me color this whole thing, so I am going to go ahead and cut out this part of the video and bring you back once I finish coloring the truck. Okay, there we go. Now we have the little truck all colored. Now what I'm taking is what they call the blender pen, and all it is it's a little paintbrush with water in it, or just a lid. It's not quite an aqua pen. It's not a water, you don't fill it with water. It has it in there. But I love it. What it does is it just kind of melts the watercolor pencil and makes it paint. And it's just like you are watercoloring. It is the coolest thing. And of course, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me paint this whole truck. So I will bring you back when it's all done. Okay, now we have used this blender pen and blended all the color together. And it looks beautiful. Put the lid back on there. Now let's put our card together. All right, I want my Calypso base for my truck, and I get my SNAIL adhesive. Just a little bit will do, and then line it up. Now I've cut these so that you get a 1/8 border around all the papers, and so just enough to give you a hint of color. Oh, I almost forgot. All right, so what I'm doing with this strip here, I don't have any pretty patterned paper, but I'm going to make some. So I'm going to take the cupcake stamp and the blue ink, and I'm going to just stamp a bunch of blue cupcakes on here to kind of bring out the blue in the truck. All right, so I need my blue ink, and I'm using Dapper Denim here. All right, and then my little cupcake stamp. Okay. All right. And then I'm just going to, let me move my Calypso out of the way. And I have the stamp mat back here so I can, if I get, I'd like my little cupcakes to kind of go off the edge like that. All right, and I'm just going to dab and stamp. And I'm just going to go all over this, kind of in random, maybe even twist some of them. Okay, so now I've stamped my little card, and I have kind of like a patterned paper there. Just, you know, for a little fun there. Bring out the blue in that truck. Put my stamp away. I don't want to lose it. A little tiny thing. Close up my ink. And these are real easy to open and close. See where it says Dapper Denim there? I just push that and it pops out. And then I just flip it and snap it back in. Okay, now back to putting the card together. So this cupcake kind of designer paper now that I've created, I'm going to stick on this Calypso. Oops, right side up. And now this one I cut to where it lines up on the edge at the bottom, and it has the 1/8 inch on both sides. There we go. And my white top. So, oh, and I wanted to tie a little string here. I thought that would be really cute. Very simply, this is Calypso Coral Baker's Twine. And just going to make a quick bow, tie that. And I cut my twine longer so I can actually make my bow, and then I can go back and trim it after I have finished making the bow. All right. And let's see which way are we going here. There we go. And bring down these loops a little bit, make it a little smaller. Pull it. Okay. And okay, our little bow. Let's adhere this down. And I did line it up. It's the same length as the card here, so it should line up perfectly. There we go. And of course the twine makes it a little bumpy there, but that's okay. It gives it a little dimension. And my truck, almost done. This card didn't take very long at all. The coloring is so easy. With the blender pen, you don't have to be that careful with your coloring, because that's what the blender pen does. It just blends in, kind of paints where you missed, and it's the neatest stuff. Okay, almost done. Now we just got to put it onto the card. And once again, I'm just doing the 1/8 all the way around. Okay. So cute. Oh, now you always want to decorate your inside, so I'm going to do a cupcake and You're the Sweetest. Let me get my little stamp here. You're the Sweetest. Oh, and then, you know, if you're not sure where you want to put stuff, when you turn the stamp over, you can see, okay, that's how I want it. And then I'm just going to use black ink so you can see it really well on this page. Okay, and down, up. Perfect. I want another cupcake on there. That one little cupcake looks lonely. So I'm going to take my sprays off and just stamp up this cupcake one more time. And I think I'm going to put her at a little angle. There. Ah, You're the Sweetest. Okay, so we have made a very easy little happy birthday card here using the Tasty Trucks polymer stamp set that you get as a free gift during Sale-a-bration until March 31st when you order at least $50 worth of product. So for every $50 you spend, you get to choose one of the Sale-a-bration products, and there's lots of them. I hope you enjoyed today's example of this birthday card, and that you will subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I've listed all the products below and a link to my store where you can get all this wonderful stuff. Thank you so much